Here, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. What's the word? Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the pod. Welcome back to What's the Word? I'm your host with the most, Uncle Black 215. And you know what? We just had an episode of Monday Night Raw. It's the first Raw after John Cena's last match. I feel like this will probably be the last time you hear me sound somber about it, because we got a lot to get into, man. We got a lot of story beats, some things happen, and it's time to discuss. I want to thank everybody that listened to the Saturday night's main event episode. That's currently available everywhere you get your podcast at. So if you listen to this, by the time you're listening to this, that would have already been out. So appreciate y'all. Go listen to it if you haven't already. And with that being said, let's get into the happenings of Monday Night Raw right here on What's the Word. All right. So if you don't live under a rock, you saw that Gunther made John Cena a tap out in their final match, John Cena's final match in Saturday night's main event this past weekend. And Raw opened up with a video just recapping all the events that took place in Washington, D.C. And immediately, to a chorus of boos, we got the ring general making his presence known on Monday Night Raw. And listen, I think the only thing I can take away from that segment was that Gunther was proud to repeatedly say, "I made John Cena tap out like a bitch." I'm sorry, sponsors and censors. If we can bleep that out, that'll be great. But yeah, he said that often, as just like I said in the previous episode. If there is anybody who can take all of this hate and take all of this, noise, or as they say in wrestling, all this heat, and really, really run with it, it's him. I feel like, again, y'all should have known when the old music came back that this was gonna happen, that this was gonna be the guy to carry, the standard bearing carrying thing, whatever that is, moving on into the future here in WWE. So again, this wasn't just a victory lap. This was a declaration of dominance. And again, with him just not giving a rat's ass is what makes this so much better. And I cannot wait to see where Gunther goes from here. And now, first match on the card. We take a trip down memory lane, and we have the Usos taking on the New Day. And look here, man. After a pinfall victory here, the Usos look like that they back in rare form. Now, I don't know how y'all feel about the Usos getting back into the tag team division after seeing, how everything went with main event Jey Uso. I don't know how y'all feel. But if you ask me, I feel like the Usos back in the tag team division does the tag team division a world of good. Because again, these guys are one of the best tag teams in WWE today. And with them being back in this division, it injects life into the division. And then when you get new teams in there, they have somebody to work with. So hopefully, next year we do something with them, something real good with them. Next up, we got Maxine Dupree defending the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship against Ivy now. So Dupree retained her championship, picking up the win and keeping that belt. This was a solid match that reminded fans that Maxine just isn't a side story. She's a title holder. And as far as all of this is concerned, it keeps that division, the chase for this championship competitive. And, we can see what Maxine Dupree is going to be getting into come 2026. Let's see how this championship can be elevated a little bit more. Then we had Stephanie Vaquer defending the Women's World Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. And of course, the match was never going to come to a conclusive finish because wrestling. That's why Nikki Bella ran out through the hands, through the fisticuffs, and hence causing Stephanie to retain. So I know Raquel is not going to like that at all. And with the disqualification here, it's really keeping, everybody on their toes. The storylines could go either which way. But, having disqualifications often on a show can be crazy. I'm not going to be the one to say nothing, but, I understand if we can't have a winner and we can't have a loser, maybe don't put them in the ring. You got a bunch of people that could do it too, but I don't make the show. I'm just here. And ladies and gentlemen, we move on to Logan Paul taking on Rey Mysterio. Now listen, the division, Braun and them immediately was going to interfere in this match. So I didn't really give too many hoots about it because it's Raw and you know what was going to happen. Now, if you saw Raw like I did, what really, really caught my eye was the fact that, we seen CM Punk make his return and came out and had his presence felt. But we didn't see the Masked Man. And the Masked Man revealed himself this evening on Monday night. And just like the name of this episode, I have a theory about who the Masked Man could be. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Austin Theory is back on Monday Night Raw, back in WWE, and very well could be back with Seth Rollins because listen, when he took the ski mask off, got the fresh cut, he got the Randy Orton 08 cut. So, he look like he about to be on some real murder stuff, some real killer stuff, some real I'm on everybody type stuff. So shout out to Austin Theory. I feel like this is somebody who is supposed to be been balling in WWE, but situations arise in our lives. Should have been more smart about it. So I can't wait to see where all of that goes. So listen, that was everything, at least everything that I can remember and that I can get down on the pens and papers and then back here to y'all's. That was everything from Monday Night Raw. I really feel like Gunther being the new ultra mega super villain in WWE is a perfect fit. And I don't know who's the guy that's going to be able to stop him and knock him off his perch, but I will be front and center to see what happens with that. And again, with the return of Austin Theory, where does that take the Vision? What happens now that we get a former Seth disciple back in the mix here? I cannot wait to see how this story plays out and everything else going on Monday Night Raw. The tag division, the women's division, the women's tag titles are popping. This is quite the time. But hopefully, we can move past everything that happened on Saturday night's main event and really just lock in and enjoy the product that we have here. All right. So listen, I want to ask y'all a question, okay? I want y'all to please tell me, do you think that Gunther played his role perfectly as John Cena's antagonist? Comment below too. And as well, let me know if you think that when Austin Theory got revealed as the Masked Man, did you see that coming or were you completely shocked? So listen, that was this week's episode of What's the Word. I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm sure that, once Friday comes, we'll get an episode for SmackDown. And if anything happens this week interesting enough in TNA or NXT, I may pop out with an episode for that as well. But with all that in mind, don't forget to hit the like button, share, comment what you think. Get this where you get all your podcasts at Spotify, Apple, all the places. It's a bunch of them. But wherever you can find What's the Word, tap in. Appreciate you. Love you. And as always, man, see you on the next one.